I have a few main issues that I want to address first of all. So, by no means this is really going to be elementary level discussion because the subject matter I'm doing this video on is just too complex. Also, to make sure if we're completely on the same page, please tell me if I made any factual discrepancies or anything wrong in this video. It's bound to happen with the complexity of the subject matter that I've been researching lately, but please just tell me. Science is all around you. If you really take into consideration what that claim means, just think about this for a second. You take a mathematical equation, you put it on a logistic map, or you logistically map it, and it gives you a constant value. Now, if you were to put constraints on it, which would represent the environmental constraints on a population, then you start to get influxes within the value. Within 1 year, the population will be down 1, and next year it'll be up 1. And eventually, that continues, and it starts to split off. So then you start to see bifurcations form, which are Mandelbrot set. The Mandelbrot set, anything within the Mandelbrot set, is usually a finite value. It constantly changes back and forth between the same values. It doesn't divert into chaos, is what we consider this. And these bifurcations continue until eventually it does hit a chaos area where there is no finite principle, there is no finite value, and it's just all random. This is how random numbers are produced on a deterministic machine. You see, that's how you would say pseudo-random numbers would be created. So as you see here now, I keep the growth rate at 1, and it just keeps a finite equilibrium. But if I increase it to 2, then naturally it should increase, the equilibrium should increase. But we still don't see really many, no influxes at all, because it's only at 2. But once we get into 3.5, when we get into 3, it starts to influxes automatically. It starts doing, you see the influxes, and it creates bifurcations in the line. And then after that, if I add it to 3.5, you see another bifurcation. So it takes a year for that population to stable back. It goes up and down with the bifurcations. And then once you go to 3.75, it reverts to chaos. Once it gets to chaos, it splits off, splits off in multiples, and then eventually, if you increase it to, let's say 3.85, it reverts back to order. So there are pockets of order within the chaos, too. It splits off, you see the bifurcation split off, and those bifurcation splits are actually the Mandelbrot set. So at this point, we don't actually care about the initial population anymore. All we care about is the exact growth rate and how the growth rate can affect the bifurcations and whether it's in order or chaos. So I can see here, if I change the parameters and I put the reproduction rate, or in this case growth rate, below 1, that'll put into a extinction period. So this extinction period naturally goes down and down until eventually they go extinct. The biggest thing that stood out to me to the Mandelbrot set wasn't the fact that it could be used in the wildlife, or it could be reiterated as 2 different equations. Wildlife, or it could be reiterated as 2 different equations, but in fact that it was universal. It had a sort of universality to it. There is the physicist Mitchell Feigenbaum. He divided the width of each bifurcation on the graph, and he found that it came out to the same ratio, 4.669. And so with that in mind, whatever equation you reiterate into the graph, it always will come out at that constant, known as the Feigenbaum constant. So constantly you'll get the same thing, 4.669, 4.669. and it never changes. Think about this for a second. In 1975, biologist Robert May wrote an article in Nature about how we should teach chaos to our kids, how we should teach complex math to our kids. This would give them a much better appreciation for a simple math equation. It might even ensue interest in it as well.